seconds. Okay. Oh, I am in the wrong view, and this is probably already live. So, on Twitch and Periscope at least. Oh man. Here. Okay, it's live on YouTube. Great, that's good to know. Okay,
Yeah.
that's how live streaming goes, everybody. All right. Hello, everyone. I am Matthew Casanelli, and today I am going to be talking with Rodrigo, the developer of a brand new app called Charty. Charty, wow, for iOS. And it's a charting app that works with Siri Shortcuts. So, Rodrigo, I brought you in. Hello, hello.
Hi there.
How's it going?
Hey there, everyone. Yeah,
Um,
it's great, great here.
yeah, this is fun. Anybody watching, please feel free to say hi in the chat and stuff like that, and we will be replying to your comments. But Rodrigo, do you want to just like give a little introduction about yourself and Charty?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Matt. My name is Rodrigo. I'm from Brazil. By day, I work in the oil business. Work at Petrobras in Brazil. And by night, I've been trying my hand with app development. I'm a computer engineer. I have a degree in computer engineering. So I've always liked programming and this sort of stuff. Last year, I've released my first app in May. It's called Chat Stats. It's an app to create statistics from WhatsApp history chats, group chats,
Nice.
and it's been a nice year. Some 2,500 copies were downloaded, and since December last year, I've been working on Charty. So it's an app that it's released today. It's an app to create charts directly from Apple Shortcuts. And the inspiration for it was Alex Hay, great Toolbox Pro and everything he'd be doing there. So I decided to try my hand in fixing this shortcoming I've seen in iOS, that you couldn't generate a chart very easily. So that's how Charty came out.
Nice. That's awesome. I think I was telling you when we did a earlier chat just to get to know each other a little bit, and I was like, I remember when I worked at Workflow being like, please let us make charts with this, because I could just tell, like, I had a background slightly in I would like only briefly got into the data visualization world doing Twitter analytics and like building a dashboard for the brands that I worked with at VaynerMedia, and it was like I started getting into all these charts, and I could tell that Shortcuts could do similar stuff where you pull in a bunch of information and work with it
Exactly.
in repetitive ways. And then so it's like, oh, if I could just put this into some sort of system that charted it, it would work perfectly. And now you've done that, which is awesome. Um,
Yes, the tools were all there. There's a lot of ways to get data into shortcuts, and the team in Apple at Apple has been doing a great job of pushing it forward. So it's great that they gave us the tools in iOS 13 to also help them push these limits. So it's very nice.
I agree. Here, let me bring on my iPad view here. I've got Charty here on the App Store, which is it is just like, yeah, it's live. That's so cool. I
Yeah,
love stuff like that. So oh, I was gonna say 11 ratings. Nice. I already did rate it, although it doesn't show it on the iPad. I swear I did, because you actually
that's
you
okay.
do have a whole special system for helping people to uh, like get Easter egg hunt and alternate icons, and that does prompt them. I like the way you did it, where you're like, you can leave a review if you want, but
It's
you don't have to.
yeah, it's kind of subtle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, anybody who is watching, I do recommend you download Charty and get started. It's what is it? It's free to download, and then is it $2.99 as an in-app purchase?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's free to download with limited features. You get four of the live and actions for free, and limited styling with themes and pie charts and donut charts. But if you pay for the premium package, you get the full 11 actions that will allow you to build very powerful shortcuts, including exporting images and styling your series. And you also get the extra icons, and all these features are available in the app also. The 299 is a discounted price for to thank the community for all the help and the testing that everyone did. Uh, it'll be at this discounted price for 1 month.
Nice. Cool. Awesome. And I've got the website up here, so if anybody wants to learn more about the basic stuff, you can go there and check it out. Love for
Yeah, I
Charty.
tried to add a lot of examples, and I also had to have to fix that Twitter header that's saying it's coming soon. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well no, I was just it's like while I'm here, I might as well retweet it so it gets more people in there. Oh look, BJ Novak. Yeah.
Uh,
So,
try,
oh, what were you gonna say?
I try to add to ease people into the app, so I try to provide tutorials and examples, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of questions in the FAQ. So, and the examples in the website are different than the ones in the app. So I
Okay.
guess there's 14 in the website and 27 in the app.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, this is helpful. I mean, that was what it does. Like because you are like a shortcuts based app. It's just like a little bit different for people to get used to because if you're someone like me, you might be like in shortcuts all day long. But for somebody who's like coming in from the outside, like the first experience of opening it is like, how do I interact with this? So that's why we wanted to do like a video just explaining to people how to get started so that you can kind of go from there and not like you. Although I will say, I think Matt Birchler was commenting. He was like, "You have a really good tutorial because that does help a lot." It's like I was like, "Oh yeah, how do you do this?" And then it's like, "Oh well, you have the tutorial in there already, so that should help people." I definitely recommend. And is there a way to I was gonna say to like do it again in here?
You can, I
Oh
guess, you
yeah,
can go
show
to settings
tutorial.
and yes.
Nice. Oh wait, oops, not showing it. Um, yeah. So then this whole thing will like take you through and explain each of the different ways. I mean, I guess we should. Why don't we just do it right now because that is like the main basics of it. Do you want to like
That's
narrate
nice.
here?
Yeah, you'll be creating your first shortcut. It's pretty simple. You use the repeat action, and I'm gonna set it to 10 times, I guess. So you repeat whatever actions are inside that. These two repeat and repeat 10 times. I
Cool.
guess you can.
And then
Yeah.
there.
Okay. So the easiest way to create lists for Charty is using the edge variable action. So I'm gonna add the repeat index. That's a special variable created in the repeat loop that goes up every time the loop runs. So the first time it's gonna be 1, the second 2, and so forth and so on. And I'm adding that to a variable named x values.
Cool. And then you're
And
going
the
through.
next step,
Yeah. Nice.
yeah, I'm gonna create random numbers. So every time the loop goes around that action, it creates a random number from 0 to 10, and it's gonna add that random number, the result of that action, to another variable
Okay.
called y values.
Oop. Did I jump too far? Sorry.
No
Okay.
problem.
Cool.
And then we have the two lists, the x values and the y values. Now we're going into charting. So we're creating the chart. So naming it my first chart. So it's gonna appear in the upper portion of the chart. And in the next step, you're gonna create your first series. So we're using the add series to chart action. These are the two most used actions in most shortcuts with Charty.
Mm-hmm.
I've labeled this series my first series, and the chart ID is already gotten automatically by shortcuts from the chart created. The create
Step
chart
before.
action
Yeah.
outputs the ID, so you can just use it as a magic variable. And this series is going to be a line, and it's going to use x values for the values of the x-axis and y values for the values on the y-axis.
Nice. And then last step.
The last is just to add a open app action in the end to open Charty after running everything. And the last step is running. There it
Nice.
goes.
That's awesome. I'm not gonna lie, this
Yeah, the first,
tutorial is very convenient for me on this video right now, because that is like building one from scratch can be a little bit more complicated.
yeah, I have to credit my brother. I was on the final steps of building the app, and he was, come on, man, there should be a way to for people to understand what they can do in here. Maybe you should make a video and some sort of thing. And I was, no, it's gonna be so much trouble.
Yeah.
And it was, come on, you have to. There's no point in building the app if people don't understand how to use it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm pretty sure Shortcuts itself doesn't even have a tutorial anymore. So you're doing better than Apple in that regard. Ooh. There
yeah,
used to be a whole onboarding thing, and there is like the documentation in there, but gotta
yeah,
rub one. It's like they're Apple, they can handle it. Well, I have a couple of example charts in here. But I built some of this based off of somebody else's tweets. So I'm trying to figure out what should we just like build a sample one first here? Like, I mean, I guess the examples that you have are super helpful too. You were taking me through like the basic, I think like especially just having real data. Wait, now that I think
yeah,
about it, this isn't going to work on the iPhone, is it? Or this has to
yeah.
work on the
But
iPhone. I can bring in my
yeah,
phone too. I'm not showing
it
it
would be
again.
better if you're going to try using health data. You have to do it on the phone. Yes,
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. We could switch off in
I really
a
like it.
minute. Um, I constantly have
Hey,
that. Ooh,
you've opened
slept.
the gallery of examples, so I try to build something shortcuts like in the colors
Yeah.
and the position of the icons. And so you have some first steps there, just six very simple examples and
Here, let me tap in. Yeah. Why
creating.
don't we just show people? So this is opening into shortcuts, and then this is the whole adding interface. So this is the same one that you created in the tutorial, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Cool.
There it
Give
goes.
it access.
It's exactly the same one, just the numbers are from 1 to 100, not from 1 to 10.
Let's see. Just ran it real quick. And we created that. Nice.
There it is.
So I guess for anybody tuning in for the first time too, just to like who isn't familiar, not only can Charty like take these shortcuts or take this data and put it into a chart, but you also have additional actions to style it all. Did you mention, is that premium?
Yes, the
Okay.
styling actions are in the premium package. Yeah.
But if you have created a chart, then you can come in and style it afterwards. I guess
Just the
maybe.
theme for if you haven't purchased the premium package, the styling actions and the styling functions in the app are gonna be locked.
Okay, cool.
So
That
you
makes sense.
see a little padlock over there. Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully that's never going to be a problem because everybody already bought it. But I do
User
recommend it.
right.
Okay, let me just I'll put shortcuts here on the side, swap it around, do a little iPad window management. Here, I'll just bring up yours. Oh, okay. I'm not doing it again. Sorry, guys. Oh, the joys of live streaming. So here I've got
There you go.
Charty on the right, and then Shortcuts is over here on the left, just because I wasn't actually showing that. But you have the series of actions in here. I had a question
And
just for my own knowledge of,
uh-huh.
I guess with new chart with series combines like new chart and add to series. I guess that's
Yes.
you. I remember now. We talked about this before. Is that the reason you wouldn't always want to use that is because if the chart already exists, you don't want to create them again. But you can if you want with that one.
Yeah, and there's one specific example that address this the need for these actions to be separate. I believe that for users of the premium package, they will most likely be using new chart with series most of the time. But if you're creating series around in a repeat loop or something, you can't just put the new chart with series in there. So you end up creating multiple charts
Yeah.
and
Okay.
So when I'm doing that, there's an example, the custom themes example in the website. It creates the chart before and adds the series in there after.
Which one?
I guess it's the
Custom
custom
theme.
themes.
Okay.
Ones, yes.
Bring this out.
That.
Here, I gotta use this trackpad more too, but.
So you see, you have the create chart action in the beginning of the shortcut, and then a text action with different colors for a theme.
Nice.
And when you go down, you'll see that I'll be repeating 5 times because I have 5 colors, and I'll be creating. It's like the evolution of the shortcut we've seen before. In that we were creating just one series, and now we're creating that same series 5 times using random numbers. So you see
with separate
the repeating
colors.
times.
Okay.
Yes. Adding the repeat index 2, so it's the one in
the inner
the loop inside, and creating random numbers, adding 2 y values, and then I add the series to the chart I created.
Okay.
Above.
Nice.
And styling the series with
each of them with
the current color.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Here, let me. I guess I should have added that and just looked at the full view. Also,
okay.
Anybody watching, please feel free to leave comments if you have questions and things like that. We will totally answer them for you. Cool. Get that one access. So I think one of the things that a lot of people will see is this type of repeating block area where it's like you have to first go through each of the list, and then it's many people might not even be familiar with the concept of repeats type of thing, but it's just like a way to iterate through a list repeatedly. I guess now that I'm explaining that live, that doesn't sound very clear, but it is each time you.
Very simple shortcut to explain that. Just create an empty one.
Sure.
And add the repeat action. Repeat 3 times.
Cool. 2, 3.
And let's add a quick look inside there.
So you can see what's happening, yeah. Here, so anyone who doesn't know, quick look, it's like a little preview.
It's one of the best actions to debug your shortcut.
Yeah.
If you add one after the repeat, please.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
No. Well, add 2. Add one inside and one.
Okay. See, let's see it. Does this bug still? Yeah, that should work.
I did not know that.
Yeah, except that I think I was telling you too. It's like there's a weird bug where if you accidentally add the same thing, it will grab the name of the one above it. So be careful if you're adding a shortcut that way. But okay, there we go.
So in the inner quick look, select the repeat index, please, to show everyone.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess just to introduce to people too, whenever you're this action is inside this repeat loop, from the repeat here, and then the end repeat shows where it finishes. Whenever you're inside something that's repeating multiple times, you can actually these repeat index, and there's also another one usually called repeat, or depending on which one you use, called repeat item. And these generate themselves automatically. This is if you're on repeat number 1, the index is 1. Repeat number 2, the index is 2, and so on.
And the repeat item will appear if you're using the repeat with each action, not the repeat action.
Yeah, that's right. I use repeat with each all day long. So I'm I think that's something that even maybe while we're doing this live is I need to figure out more when I need to repeat through data versus repeating with each through the data. And that might have been the problem with the thing I was telling you about before this. Let me just check the questions real quick. Someone has a question later we should address of how do you export the chart to paste it somewhere else? Because I actually had that same problem. So we'll get to that though.
Yeah, it's definitely coming.
Cool. What's next here? Oh yeah, you said repeat index. And then was this just to demonstrate the
Yes, just to show how the repeat action works. So when you the first run through the loop, it's going to show 1 is the value of the repeat index, and then if you tap done, and then you're going to show 2, and again
3.
So it starts with 1 and runs 3 times, and it increments the value of the repeat index every time it runs through that.
Oops.
And in the end, you can see it's defining that it's a list, and you can see there by tapping in the list, and so it creates a list already for you.
Yeah.
Just
and for anyone new to shortcuts too, once you get to this step afterwards, you can kind of tell that something is a list because it has 3 items in this little, or like multiple dots right here in this drop down afterwards. And this is just like a preview window that shortcuts always tends to show after you're done, like that whatever's at the end of the shortcut. Cool.
So that's the repeat action. You can use it to create data, mostly math functions. I used to plot with the repeat action, but you can also use to cross-reference to lists of different values. So if you're trying to, I don't know, calculate your the number, some ratio of calories spent by kilometer run. So you'd have to get your calories spent every day from the health kit and the kilometers you've ran or walked, and you'll be going through both lists inside the repeat action and getting the item at that repeat index in each one of them.
Okay.
Calculating.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. It just clicked there in the middle of it of like the initial repeat is so that. Okay, here, wait. Let me go back.
Do you want to try? Do you want to try to build something like that?
Hold on. Don't let me. I'm going to lose it. I mean, this one makes more sense to me because. Oh wait. Let me bring it back in.
Let's do this with a 2 list of texts.
Yeah. So why don't we? I think we should. Instead of like a full just total example, let's do some like actual data work because I think that's more helpful. I'm just thinking the health app is my favorite data source. Why don't I just bring in my iPhone and I'm gonna like adjust the camera for a second to make sure we can see everything. I'd have never paired my mouse to the phone, which you can technically do, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's as close as we're gonna get, maybe.
It's kind of good.
Let me check just for a split second and see if I can adjust this, but I don't think so. Oh wait,
but your battery is almost over.
Oh yeah, man, I didn't even. I'm using the battery case, and I didn't even charge my phone last night, and it's still like, okay, there we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'll just give everybody. We have to finish this before my battery dies. Oh, that's dreadful. All right. I don't think I've ever done like shortcuts or phone shortcuts on the live stream before, so let's just go to town. So starting out with it, I think it's like just grab the health samples data, or how do you start a Charty?
Find health.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Find health. Yeah.
And it's in here. Health. Find health samples. Ooh, these are all just sections I've edited. That tricked me there.
Yeah. The fastest way is to just go through the find health samples. So you'll be looking for all health samples, and you're gonna want to change the type. Right now, you're getting the steps down.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that's in health is available there.
Yeah, this is amazing. Like, I'm sure almost nobody who knows about shortcuts knows that you can get all of your or I don't know if it's actually all, but you can get a ton of your health data out of shortcuts and then work with it. So like this alone will be like 50% of the use of Charty, I would bet, at a certain point.
Yeah, I really like trying this. I discovered these actions when I was trying to calculate. As I was talking to you last Friday, I was trying to get a grasp of whether I was going to meet my goal for the Apple Watch achievements of calories burned and distance walked. So I discovered that it was possible to get data from there. But as soon as everything being available there, it's almost everything. And the only things I wasn't able to get were the stuff from the Apple Watch, the workouts and the activities.
Do you know about?
But Toolbox Pro fixed this.
Let's do that. Let's like I mean, okay. Let's do that after this. Let's do a couple real
Okay.
quick. And by the way, it looks like Mazen. I can't read it on the screen, but just tried this tutorial. Works great, so that's good. Because it is like a bad onboarding, and people will never use your app again. So that is like good. That is a good tip. All right, find health samples. Oh yeah, we already got it in here. Which one should we do? Steps, or were you saying? Yeah, I'm scared now. What am I gonna? This is gonna be so revealing of all of my personal information.
Yeah, maybe heart rate, resting heart rate. Yeah.
That's even more personal, but sure. I think mine's
No,
good.
no.
I don't care. Let's do it. That's more interesting.
Okay.
Okay, resting heart rate. Should I group
Yeah.
or just
Group by
today?
day. Yeah.
Okay,
No. The last 7 days, yes, and group by day. So we get the
just
value
the
for the
average,
day.
or okay,
And you can leave few missing.
yeah. Okay, so
Okay,
just
now
to
let's.
boom.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Okay, it's not.
Yeah. You're
Wait,
very well.
what day was this? How stressed was I? Yeah, mine's actually pretty good. I mean, I've been. Ooh, did you see that? 0. I have this issue sometimes with
Yeah.
health data.
It's the last one. The last one is always 0. So I usually add one extra day and remove the last one.
How? Oh, like do 8 days and then get item from
Yes.
list. Okay.
Yes.
So
Get
for
them from
anyone who,
list, and we just.
if you ever need to if you have a list of data and you need to get something out of a specific part of it, get item from list does that. You can do first item, last, random item, and then this items at index and items at range. This is another one that's like no normal person can interpret that into like get the 5th item and then like get 3 through 7, like that stuff. Like this one's so powerful and just like it's a little too programming right now. So let's do in range.
Someone is saying in the chat that Charty is not available. Please try going to Charty website. It's chartyios.app, and you just tap the link there, and it should take you to the store.
Yeah, I actually couldn't find it in search either, so we gotta get you some votes. Do I need to calculate on this, by the way, to do one less than the total? This is very programmery right away, but gonna count the total, and then I'm just gonna do this because I explaining that's like we know we have 8, and then I'm gonna put -1, and then so then the end is actually this ends up being. Whoop! What just happened?
It's
so used to doing this on my iPad. Oh yeah, that was right. But then this is not right.
Not right. Yeah.
That needs to. I need to grab the health sample. So this
Shortcuts run so much smoother in your phone than mine.
Yeah, I'm on the latest beta too, so that could be. So then this has just the right set now.
Yeah, the 0 is gone.
It's chartyios.app, right? Is your website, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I gotta find ways to like put that stuff on screen live. Okay, so we got our data now. Double check again. So this actually part of another thing that nobody knows and you would probably never find on your own is just that when you get a different piece of one of these items, like you can extract information out of these. So when you tap on this, oh wait, did I do the wrong one?
No, you have to repeat. Did you get item from
Yeah.
list? You have to.
Because this is looking at the list, right?
Yeah, try repeating first.
Okay. Repeat. Oh my god. My Shortcuts app is filled with other shortcuts now from other people. It's like kind of overwhelming sometimes. I'm like, I can't find anything because there's like 10,000 actions in here. Okay.
I gave up trying to go through the menus. I just searched for the actions and hope it appears here.
All right, hold on. I just lost my place. Okay, yeah. Now I'm gonna just do a sample text action in here just so we can look at the item. And here we'll actually see the repeat with each. Also, this is something I wish Shortcuts fixed. Is like right here it suggests stuff that you shouldn't use. What you need is actually over here, the repeat.
It's way behind. Yeah.
It's because it's like I know that technically, like this whole thing is the shortcuts bar or the variable bar, and these ones are automatically generated, these like last 6, but it's just
Mm-hmm.
confusing for people who've never done it before.
I wish this bar was
Oop.
also bigger.
Yeah, like this tray, if you press the word variables, it replaces it. But then sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. We'll have another live stream where we complain about shortcuts. There's a couple things, but oh, it's still being a number.
Okay.
What's happening? So I guess just for anybody watching live is like we're trying to account for shortcuts will automatically detect the type of content that you're working with, and right now for some reason it's like getting just the numbers out of there. You know what?
It might be
It's
something
like
with
right
the.
here
Might be it. Yeah.
in health
That's weird.
samples. Yeah, that is not
The
right.
health samples.
This should be health samples.
Yeah, you can choose health sample from there.
I will
It's a.
do. Here's the way to do it: is find health samples also acts as like a filter when you pass something into it. So if we change this to display error, where did it go? What? Okay, it's there, even though it's buggy.
Yeah, I keep getting this error.
So now I need to do the same type. Let's see. It's a little bit easier with like the filter music one. But let's just do this. Technically should still work. Let's hope. This is the magic of by day. Doing it live.
Yeah.
It's working. Yeah, okay, now this is a health sample in here. Somebody in the chat said, I have tons of complaints. Let's complain. Don't worry, guys. We can do that soon. It's especially if iOS 14 comes out and some of our bugs aren't fixed. It's just like, I'll be like, hey, Shortcuts team, just so you know, I'm doing my bug live stream now because there's tons. So I guess, for anybody, like, again, just kind of to step back because it is easy to get really deep with these. Now that we're repeating with each of these, what we're doing inside this repeat loop is what it's generally called, is like each of these actions before and repeat is just one iteration going down of like just one health sample, and then it does it again and again. So in Shortcuts, you can, inside this repeat loop, deal with like manipulate the data before you move on to the next step in the list of data. So like what we'll be doing probably, I assume, is extracting the dates out of each of these. Well, you really only extract the date once here, like start date. Do you know? Does it?
Yep.
Okay, it doesn't need end.
In this case, it's not gonna matter. I also get the time format and set it to none.
Okay.
So you just have the day of the.
Oh yeah, because otherwise it'll say 12 p.m. or a.m. or whatever. So, I guess really I could have done like get dates from input, but this is fine. So then we would just store it like as the X value, right? Set.
Yes, you could. You don't need the. I understand you added the text action just for teaching purposes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need that in the.
Let's get rid of
the Fire short. You can just use the edge variable action.
Okay, because oh wait, I don't have it in there. So I'm gonna do these manually just because it does teach people where stuff is. Like who's ever gonna find that? But set variable. So the reason this works is that
you chose set variable.
Oh yeah,
add to variable. Yes.
Because part of what set variable would, each time we repeat through it, it would overwrite the data because it's setting it. It's like naming this thing each time. That's, I guess, just as a like overall thing. Some people might not even know variables is just like a way to store data. And like here actually is a good example because while we do want to get like, we're trying to get like the date out of each, but technically you can't just say like today or a specific date. It varies each time. And so this is like a container to hold it as we like go through, because then it iterates through all 7 pieces of data that we have. But exactly. It's man, variables, trying to explain that is like oh, let me just explain programming basics on the fly too.
Your explanation is good. It's just a way to store stuff to use later.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. It's like the word alone sounds so nerdy, but it's just something that you store that varies. Like I don't know. It's who named this stuff. So we're gonna give this the title of X values just because we know it's like first we have the dates, which is also for anyone who forgets because I may or may not have checked once. Is it's like X is along the bottom, Y is is the left axis because it's just like I don't know. Maybe you haven't made charts since work or Excel or something like in high school. So I guess now we have like once we go through, let's just see like what's going on here. Now instead, see this is what I was saying. Why do I have 45? Do I need to
Because
clear it?
it's the output of the repeat loop. Add a quick look and just look at the output in the index values.
Oh my god, that's what I was doing. Sorry, just bear with me for a moment, everybody, because like I'm so used to when you repeat with each. Oh, my autofocus is going crazy. When you repeat with each, you tend to get the whatever's last out of the variable, but this is technically adding to like the dates to each other each time in this loop. But really, what we just need is the X value, which is being set. So, okay, that was my problem. And that's what I think I said. I don't remember if I said it beforehand or on the stream, but I was like, that's the problem I'm running into because it kept all of my numbers. It's like adding it and then adding it to itself. So at first there's 1, then 2, then 3, and suddenly it's okay. Sorry. Yeah. I'm excited. It's like I figured it out.
That's okay. Yeah. We just fixed the problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So you
nice.
can have a quick look after the repeat and just look at the value of the. I make that mistake all the time. Also, how we look.
Okay.
I'm trying to write quick look and start with the
this repeat results is technically 45, but that's not what we want to see. We need to get the X values and just display that. And then we have 9 again. Why is it doing 9 still? It said 8. What?
Should have gotten it. Yeah.
There's something sloppy and because this says 8 days, but then it has 9 values. It's like today plus the last 8. Yeah,
it might be it.
That's kind of sometimes the logic of shortcuts can mess with you. Okay, so we got X, and then let's do. Can I just do add to variable again?
Exactly.
Okay, nice. Since we are just getting the data out of the repeat item. Okay, this is messy. That's not. Shortcuts is just automatically trying to figure out what's going there. But repeat item, add. Ooh, that's scaring me that it's all connected, but.
No, it's going to fix itself once you run.
Yeah,
but you can also change the repeat item to the value. Just like you did with the start date, you can do that with the value. Yes.
Nice. So now we're good to go with our data. Technically, what comes out of the repeat loop now will be like the stack of Y values over and over again. Same problem that we just had of like, now we need to just isolate those variables and put them into the chart. So here, I guess this is where you would just do new chart with series in theory.
Yes.
But if you,
that's a very good case.
Like, I think that's something that maybe we should say for a future stream of how do you add to a chart over time with shortcuts, because that probably requires a couple other helper shortcuts and things like that. I guess if you have a chart ID, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to pick this up to type real quick. This is resting heart rate.
Yes.
I guess a question too that I asked when I first asked you about this was just so anyone knows, like a series, just for the terminology, is like one of the sets of data that you're charting. So if you have 3 different lines you're charting, that's 3 separate series.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to, one thing I just maybe conceptually was like, sometimes I'm confused what to name the label versus just the name of it. Like, would this just be HR? Like do a little, like it almost, sometimes I was doing.
You can use the any label you want. It's just the value it's just the text that's going to show in the chart legend.
Yeah, but I just
So
mean like as a visualization person or like yeah, I mean I think it's just like when you have to abstract it a little bit, then it becomes confusing of like what should I put on my label, but we can figure that out
yes,
also.
in this case, it's okay for you to add the RHR because you already have the resting heart rate in
Yeah,
the
it's like
title of the chart. So, but if you imagine if you were plotting two data sets like the resting heart rate and the variability of the heart rate, it would be better if you just save the names for the labels and just had the title of the chart be something like
yeah, that's
heart rate
fair.
analysis.
It's almost like more confusing when there's just one series because the series is probably giving the like informing what the title is. So I guess
Yes.
also just real quick, this one is the free action, right? New chart with series, or is that the premium one?
No, this one is the premium one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That just like combines the steps into one instead of having to do it over and over again. And then we're good to go,
Yes.
right? I guess you
We're
said
good to go.
open
We're
app
good.
just in case.
Yes, you can add an open app just so it goes straight into
Oh
Charty.
god, where to go? I love the open app action. It's just like I totally have like 50 shortcuts that just open another app, but I mean, I guess I can give people a sneak preview of why is because I have all of my shortcuts on my home screen because I'm a
You're a very
madman.
tidy person.
It's like I
I
still
can
haven't
imagine
figured out
how
how useful it is, or like does this just look really good for a video? That's why I haven't published it because it's like I really want to make sure it works and not just like subject someone else to the amount of effort I put in to put them all on both devices on the home screens just to
I've seen screenshots of your home screen. It's impressive.
it's yeah it's still I almost it's like it's not impressive, it's just crazy. Like all right, let's do this. Let's reveal how good my heart rate is. Ran it, chart it,
There you go.
boom,
Where it is?
resting heart rate. I'm
There you
dying.
go. The last one, the zero last one
Why did we get that
surpassed
again?
zero.
Didn't we account for that though?
I think so. Let's look at that. Maybe the second one, the second uh, get find health samples
Yeah, something
might have
here.
messed with.
Maybe because it's now 7 days again.
It might be this one. What?
Up there, I'm in range from health samples.
Yeah, it should be filtering the ones you passed it.
It's like it's overriding. Let's do it again. Let's see. Now it's made a new chart. It's got
Try going back there to shortcuts, and instead of subtracting one, subtract two, just to see if there's
yeah.
any change.
I wonder if find health samples is just like wiping it down. Oh, now it's two of them. Huh.
Yeah,
We're doing something weird. I do think this is something that I did have of like I do wish I could edit the data later. Like for anyone, it is like right now it's mostly a charting app and not like a data storage space.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
If you're looking storing data, it's the best way today is to use data jar by
Yeah.
Simon. It's
Here, let me
way too
show people
capable.
too. Data jar over here for anyone who doesn't know. Where is it? It's like
It's great and
this is
and
a
also Mike.
repository sort of app where I have a bunch of different information in here stored, and then data jar can add it in there and pull it out. So in theory, you could log all your data into data jar and then use shortcuts to pull it from data jar into Charty. So it's very like
Exactly.
you are
Yes.
definitely a shortcuts power user type app. But let's go back to this. I'm still confused on what's happening, but honestly,
We can go back to the shortcut. Try
I want to
removing
debug
the
it for
sample.
2 more minutes, and then if we can't do it, I'm going to stop just because I don't want to turn it into a 20-minute
Yeah.
debugging session. But
Try removing that one, the second find health samples, and see if everything goes smoothly.
well, we had to do that to get the. I think
Yeah,
we're
but
like subtracting the data weirdly.
I'm
I
thinking
mean,
it's weird,
what's
but
going
I might
on?
have to do this in my heart rate variability shortcuts. Let me
Yeah,
check
you think?
my
Okay, sure. I'm just gonna like confirm. Shortcuts. That's so buggy. Calculation result. Fine.
I was to account for this. You can remove the health action, and we can use the get details from health.
In here.
Yeah, inside
Okay.
you can remove.
It'll figure it out automatically. Nice. Okay. Gonna get rid of that.
There you go. Yeah.
Gonna do this real quick. See, I should just do like streams where I just do this in real time because explaining it takes longer than actually just doing it. Detail from. Oh my god.
Try running it because we might have tricked shortcuts into.
Oh yeah, it's already declared as the type.
Yeah, it's not showing.
I don't think so. Something's going wrong there.
No, it's not gonna work. Yeah.
Okay.
Just get the action. Get details from help sample. Yeah. And
I still feel like it might. Something's weird is going on, but okay, let's do that. Add. Sorry, this is just for sake of speed.
And use the.
Let's see if this works again.
No, you don't need that.
I don't need to get the value, or
no, just add the repeat item to y values.
Because it's already the number.
Yes.
Okay, because it's already like confused. All right, let's see.
Now it should work.
Oh, wrong chart. Oh, where'd it go?
It was yes, there it is.
Yeah.
Last one.
Nice. So let's see. 5-4. What's today? That was 2 days ago.
Yes. Yeah. The last one is 5-5. It's just not showing there.
Okay. So today I have had more espresso. Honestly, I've kind of slept poorly the last 2 nights, so that might be accounting for like a higher heart rate. And I slept is 4:30. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like Friday, super chill. Like my girlfriend had the day off, and like we relaxed and got drunk. And then I slept really well on Saturday night. So it is like, maybe I don't know. It is like, that's pretty cool. I mean,
you're finding a nice correlation there.
Wait a second. If only I had some sort of way to get my health data, my sleep data from health. Let's do this. Let's compare both. Okay. Give me a second. Wait, don't tell me. I want to think about this for a second of like, what do I need to do to get to the next step? Because we already have this, we have the dates already as well. As long as they line up, like I just need to get the data and then retrieve it I switched back. And then I need to retrieve it somewhere in here, right?
Yeah, you can retrieve it in there because it would gonna be
not find health samples in here because it would do it every time. But I need to get it earlier and then pull it into that point. So here, let me do.
Yes, that would be a more advanced shortcut. Maybe you can try building everything just straight ahead. So you created a chart of the heart rate, resting heart rate series, and now you can repeat the process just to get the sleep data, and instead of new chart of series, just add series to chart.
Okay.
In the end, and then maybe we can try to optimize it later. But currently, if you can do this, it's okay. Sleep is actually somewhat complicated data in the ECP analysis inside.
Is that the only one they have right now? Because I use auto sleep with. It's the watch thing where it determines when your watch is off.
I use that too.
So it's not actually like rich data. It's just the raw. Will that still work?
Yes.
Sleep analysis.
You just have to guarantee the source. Add another filter in there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Source here. Auto sleep.
I don't know.
Nice.
No, it's not gonna work. There's a bug in that it's not. I don't know if they fixed it in the latest beta, but in 13.4 it was bugging in there. Add a quick look after that and see if it returns something, because it wasn't returning anything.
Oh no, because of the source.
Yes. You have to instead of source, use. Let me check my sleep.
Sure. It's like source is not sleep.
Okay, let me see.
I got
You
source
just
is
have to
not
say
clock.
type the value is asleep,
Up,
because
up.
if not, it's gonna get the
Oh,
again
so I
instead
do
of
keep the
source.
source or no?
No, just
Okay.
replace it with value is asleep.
Asleep.
Asleep, yes.
Capitalized?
Just like that, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's perfect. Check it out now.
Someone's asking, what are we doing? We're trying to get the raw health data and compare when I sleep to, okay, sleep to my resting heart rate data. Oh, that's making another chart again over there. So we have the data. Now I need to repeat. Oh, wait. Did that have, is that the right amount of days is the question. Because it
It's
could,
not. It's because it might have split periods in the day. So you might have slept 3 hours and then got out to the bathroom, and when you came back,
oh, I did take
first
naps occasionally. I can't
there you go.
group by here.
No, there's no group by in this section. So what I did, maybe I should just send this to you. Let me
It's like
try to send.
total by the day. You'd have to do the math for the day. It might this
Yes,
might be getting more
I,
complicated than
I created. Yeah, it's gonna be a sleep data is kind of complicated. I can send you the link. Let me send it to you, and we can. It's a shortcut to check data in sleep, because as it doesn't group by your by days, you have to group them yourself. So I get a start date, and then I'll repeat 7 times if we're looking for the last 7 days.
here.
And
Let me
I'll
see it first before, just
okay.
because it's like I can kind of here. Let me get the full thing. So you
There
okay
you go.
in between. Oh, I know, because it's like sleep data is technically across multiple days.
Ah,
Oh
yes.
man, that sucks.
Yeah.
And
It's a
then
complicated data set to use in HealthKit. And I'm adding division by 3600 because you have to the
the
sleep
health
data
values
comes in seconds.
in seconds,
Yes,
yeah.
we have to convert them to 2 hours.
um, Okay, I feel like I might save this and work on it later because I feel like I can get close, but I feel like it's going to get overwhelming here to just do live.
Yes.
But it is like, okay, let me. I'd also want to give the demo of somebody else's tweets. Let me zoom out real quick. Sorry about that. Oh, too far into existence. So the other one that I did like I built a shortcut because there's this guy, and you might have seen my tweet to him earlier. His name is something John Ehrlichman, and I always follow him. Or like
Yeah.
he tweets interesting data stuff, but he always has these little things that are charts or that are data sources in tweets. And I was like, every time I'm like, I know that this could be a chart. And for a while, I was trying to like take his tweet and parse it into a CSV into numbers and things like that. But I built one that works based off of a couple of these examples. Let me see. Oh man, he's so consistent. That's what I love, is that it's like a free data source because he always formats them like this. But these ones, you probably actually saw it earlier. This is data built. Oh, it's built off of his actual information here. Oh, okay. Was that Disney's revenue between January and March, Q1 year over year revenue, $18 billion. So look, they made a lot more money last year after they sold Star Wars, or they got Star Wars and everything.
That was a very great purchase for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then like their subscriber growth. This one was funny. There was only 3 data points, but Elon Musk's net worth apparently in the first 10 years from 28 to 38, he only made $1 billion, but since then
Oh,
he's made $39 billion. And I was like,
oh my
"Oh
God.
my god." Just like, but that's a great example, I think, of like you see the data. Like here, let me find the tweet. Even though it's obvious, like that's so much money, just
It's
really
impressive.
like I
Yes.
didn't register that it took him. I mean, he still had $22 million, but look at how it's like a zero on this chart compared to
Yeah.
like what he makes now. It's like almost insane. Like we should do one that's just Jeff Bezos' worth compared to everybody else's, and it's just like he's way up here.
Yeah.
It's like not even a chart because it's just like the scale is way too large. What was the other one? Like LinkedIn growth. Okay, I want to show too the shortcuts that I built or it was one shortcut that I attempted to compensate for his different styles. But let's see, I named it Ehrlichman in here somewhere. Ehrlichman chart. So this one is designed to, I don't think I put at the beginning yet, but it's supposed to have like a tweet on the clipboard like this, and then it will get it. I have a shortcut called dictionary from tweet. Let me just show you real quick. This one goes through and finds the like embed version of Twitter and turns it into an entire dictionary of data for me. This is like too fancy to show real quick, but
Whoa.
yeah, this extracts information from Twitter. This is great. Like for many,
Great.
many
Yes.
other purposes. I got to share that one soon. I did it because like John Gruber had one that was like, he called it Tweet Deets, and it does this using like on the Mac, all the regular expressions. And I was like, oh, I can totally do that in shortcuts just because. So then that one gets the tweet and basically gets the body out of it. I take the HTML and then just turn it into this. And whenever you embed a tweet, it's like dash from John Ehrlichman. So I put this dash in here to like split that data out, and I only get the information before it. And also just to like quickly back up is that what I'm actually doing here is that shortcuts can be used to do like the text manipulation. So like I'm just isolating the information that I need as I'm going through this. This is something I'm not even sure if I'm using right, but sometimes there's just like blank lines in these tweets. Actually, you know what? I just realized you can't see it all. Like in here. So I'm using Toolbox Pro now to discard anything containing blank. Although it already does this. I literally like, this is wild. And I saw that Alex was in here and left, but I like barely use Toolbox Pro because I was like, I need to make simple shortcuts for people, but now I'm really regretting it because it's so good. But
it's great. Yes.
So that's clearing out the data. And then here it's like we're looking through each of these lines. And then in there, he always puts a colon. So I split it by that. And then it's like, I want just the stuff on the left is the first item here. And then I think some of these say Q1, so I was trying to just like wipe that out. I had to do this formatting thing that this is probably just for you, Rodrigo, of like, if it's a date or if it's a year, it doesn't behave right because it thinks it doesn't understand that that's a date. So I had to like account for that. And even this
get it as a number,
of like get numbers from that information. If there aren't any numbers, it returns the word no, which is like, come on, like that's not helpful. Like, I mean, it is because I can account for it, but it was still like, I was like, that's so weird. It's just nothing, not like a blank. So okay, hold on. I think this is where I started to do this stuff to try to account for our repeat with results problem, but I was just like not thinking about it right. Okay, I'm gonna just jump ahead here. I also did stuff where like this get last item now is I'm working on the right side and getting just the numbers out. And so like if there was a $sign from these ones, it accounts for that. When there's a space.
Doesn't the get numbers from input account for the $sign?
I don't think so. I couldn't remember, or I think it was doing something where like if there's a decimal, it gets the other. I had some trouble, so I was trying to just do it straightforward, or not straightforward, but beating it with a hammer until it works. That does happen. I think oh yeah, no, see, I'm using get numbers right here. I think it was just because like over here, sometimes he says the word launch and sometimes they're not like just the right numbers. So I also even, before we even get to this point, I should have shown that there's an ask for input somewhere. So I can just like quickly type up or like clean up the data before I put it in. Here, let me just keep going. So then it has all that data and it stored it as X there, Y there. And then you can see I was doing it again because I started to get really confused as to why the repeat thing had my Y value stacked on top of each other each time, not just the one Y value, but we explained that earlier. So that is, I'm like, yay, I can probably get rid of that stuff. But then this first item from the filtered list is like trying to get the lines up here. So like it said LinkedIn launches. I'll show it in real time in a second. And then the name also scrapes some of the information out of there, then adds it in. I even did some styling here.
Nice.
I don't think really, I think I just did dotted lines. It's like technically there's a whole thing of like a smooth line should only be used when it's like a continuous set of dates versus dotted. Like there's something with data visualization because technically when it's a line, you're implying connection from one to the next point versus if it's like different periods or something like that. You don't want a direct line. There's Albert Cairo on Twitter is like my data visualization guru. But then, yeah. And then I think I also had to account for if it is a date value like this, style it as a date automatically, just because it's like, I wanted it to look nice. But let's see. Let me do a different one and see if it works too, because that's a better test. Like I can't account for all of his weirdness sometimes.
He has a lot of styles, but it seems.
Let's see.
Yeah, he is.
I think
As you said, he's consistent in sharing data, but they have this little very very nitpicky variation that.
But somehow it kind of works. Like something about it is like, okay, let's just try it. Okay, so we got the tweet running through it. It just pulled out the tweet body. I think I just need to wipe this out, and I'm going to I'll do the gesture. Do you ever copy and paste using that stuff?
Yeah, this one is hard to do in the iPhone. In the iPad, it's okay.
Okay, so it's iterating through the data. Name the chart. Apple Q2 revenue. Name the series. Money. What's the left axis unit? Oh God. It is what?
Dollars.
Wait. Oh, units. That's right. It's billions. That's right. Billions. Dollar billions? What's the? I don't know. That's fine for now.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. It looks like it worked. No error. That's good.
Yeah.
Apple Q2 revenue. Yeah.
Great.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's see. How did they do? What's your analysis? 2016 and 17, slightly down. I do. Okay, I guess now, but we're almost done here, by the way, for anyone watching. But one thing I was getting confused about is just the fact that the chart resizes based off of the size of the window. And so like even using it this way changes the chart. Do you account for that when people export it, or?
When you export it, you can define the export profile, and then you have total control of the dimensions of the chart. So the default size is 800 by 600, but you can do whatever you want in there.
Oh, here it is. I might not have seen the screen yet because I was only trying to do it in shortcuts.
So
Okay.
in there you can see everything. That you have
Okay,
all these
nice.
options in Shortcuts. You can't change them because you can't change the full profile, but you can tap in the export profile cell over there.
This is where I do it, right? This is how you get the chart out. Let's do
Yes,
that real quick before we finish. Export
sure.
I need to get
Uh,
the chart
ch-
ID
yes,
here in the variables thing. You can find it there as an image using
choose
export profile.
use the default one. Yes,
If you do
and
nothing,
just
does it work? Because maybe that was my issue.
I think it works. Just
Let's try it.
it should work.
Oh no, I have to do the data again. Here, wait. Let's just do a separate tweet. Can I do that? Or
Yes,
I guess I'd
just
have to
get the
get
chart.
the
It's
chart
chart
18.
underline 18. Yes.
Export chart 18. Oh, also it has to open Charty, right?
Yes, yes. It has to open Charty.
Is
Yeah.
that is I why
You have to get the so.
is this Apple like?
uh,
Because that's a.
Actually, it's part Apple, part me.
Mm-hmm.
Part Apple because the amount of RAM we have available in the
Yeah.
Shortcuts app is for running our actions is not that much, but it's not the main issue here. I have to render the chart entirely, and it would be uh, just too counterproductive to include all the charting API inside the shortcut action.
Hmm.
So everything that
Oh,
deals
because
with
you're like
charting
just
happens inside the
taking
app.
you're just taking the JSON data or whatever it is and then making the chart yourself. Interesting.
Yes, the app builds the chart, recreates it, exports as an image, and then sends data back to
Okay. But it
shortcuts.
can't just do that
But
with the shortcut action itself because it's you say, but the action itself would have to generate it. Huh. Okay.
yes,
I think that's something I want to talk about with you and the other
and also
developers in the shortcuts user group of like all those limitations because that's something that I don't totally understand right now, but that is good to know because yeah, it
the
makes
main
sense.
problem here, the image is actually I'm rendering some UI and exporting it as an image.
Mm-hmm.
The chart is a
Oh,
UI element that gets
nice.
rendered and exported as an image. So there's no way for me to render everything like the all of that inside shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to have a lot of logic ported through
So,
to
but like,
to it. So
okay, because the action itself is like still has to interact with the app. It can't just like tell the app to do it and then have it bring it back. I did notice you have to get clipboard after you're done, right?
yes, and also it's good practice to insert a wait to return action
That was
after
my next
the
question
copy.
because oh wait,
Yes.
here, let me bring it back. Um, because when you I just realized I'm off screen. Because it just like takes a second for whatever reason. It's like get clipboard is so quick that by the time it's like not even back open, it's already grabbed what was already on your clipboard. Not that.
You actually don't need the wait 1 second works, but the better one is just wait to return.
Oh,
There there's
nice.
there's in
Yeah.
shortcut that do that. The wait to return one, it's gonna cede control to wherever's getting it, and whenever control is given back to shortcuts, it's gonna
Oh, wait to
continue.
return. Will it bring back the thing? Oh no. Okay, you still need to get clipboard.
No,
But
yeah, you
but
still
otherwise, just for anybody watching, is like shortcuts technically tries to do the operation before it gets back. Um, okay, weird.
yes.
Cool.
I've
So
had
that's how you
some
get that
users.
back in. Yeah, just to do
Yeah,
it again.
there it
Nice
goes.
with the export profile. That's awesome. That's cool. We just made that chart based off of that guy's data in real time. Like that's what I think that's what's like sometimes hard about a live stream is that like me explaining like this the process of setting these up is like the upfront cost, but once you're done and if you have like a consistent data source, you just run it over and over again whenever you want it.
Exactly.
That's
Yes.
why I think let's do another stream sometime soon of like how to maybe it is just like storing the data in data jar or like how to add to a chart over time or something like that. But I think this is a good tutorial of just like basics of Charty And then there's so much with it. I mean, I'm glad that we were talking about that the other day of just like, it is like the sleep versus heart rate stuff is, I can use that tomorrow to make a decision about how I live my life from now on. Or
Yes.
like I definitely, like, humidity has been affecting me a lot lately when I'm sleeping. Or I tweeted out that like, oh, I just suddenly realized I don't get enough protein or fat in my diet almost ever. And maybe that's why I'm constantly exhausted. And it's like, I feel like I'm on the precipice of like taking all of, it's like actual quantified self on iPhone without having to like build a custom app. I'm like, you have to build a custom shortcut for it, but at least like people can take advantage of Charty and in combination with their shortcuts do a lot with it. So it's cool. Like Charty plus data jar plus shortcuts. What else Toolbox Pro, launch cuts to like launch all your shortcuts for your charts. I don't know if you know launch cuts, but it can identify all of the shortcuts that you have that use Charty actions. So like,
Yes,
it can just do stuff like that
Adam
automatically.
talked to me while I was in still in the beta, and he asked for
Yeah.
the bundle so we could add that. Yeah, that was great. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm going to have you on again soon. I'm having Adam on as well soon. So it's like, I want to do tons of these for all of us nerds because there's so much. And I do think like we can just get together on this stuff and figure it out more. And I got to start publishing these on my blog too. And I want you to get rich with this. That's my goal.
There's two of us. Yeah, there's two of us. That, yeah.
So if you are watching, download Charty, buy it for $2.99, right? What's do you have? Can you let us know what it's going to go up to, just in case? Or
it's going up to $4.99.
Okay.
It's going up in June 8th.
Okay.
Yes, it's 1 month.
Cool.
It's almost 1 month from today. Did you? I saw you. We were talking earlier. I saw you. You finished the Charty hunt.
Oh yeah.
Which one of the icons did you like best?
Out of the new ones, let me check again. I was gonna say it's on my phone. Oh wait, I will bring it up properly. That helps. Charty. So for anyone who doesn't know, in Charty you can go in here and change the app icon, and then there's a little scavenger hunt thing. I won't ruin how you get through it, but I do like the icons. Is this supposed to be Hamilton charts? Like,
yes.
I thought that was good.
Glad someone noticed. Yeah, I love Hamilton.
I like them all. I mean, they're all good. Like your icon in general and like your whole style stuff, I think you did a nice job with the branding. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do tend to go for like the basic stuff. I've been trying to also get like, I went for the launch cuts one that looks more like shortcuts. So I'm all about the shortcuts adjacent coloring schemes and things like that. Oh yeah, Shortcutify. Oh my God. I can get, oh dude, I forgot until just now. I have all 1,000 of my shortcuts logged in Airtable, and Shortcutify lets me pull that data out. And so I can make like, here's how many shortcuts I have that are rated 5 stars and things like that. I forgot about that. Oh, that's hilarious. That's I mean, that's like a couple strings down, but that stuff is amazing. Oh my God. That's why it's like, we got to do like a Zoom call with all of the shortcuts developers and just be like, what can we do with this? It's like, get Rosemary in there to just like pump it through too. It's like, oh yeah, that's awesome.
Let's get everyone together.
Sure. We'll have to do, I mean, I definitely want to do something around WWDC. Like now that we're not all going to be there in person, but awesome. This was great. Do you have anything you want to say to people or I don't know, buy the app? Yeah. That's already it.
Download the app, buy the app, leave a review. It helps a lot.
Yeah. And then you're on Twitter too and super active replying to people and things like that. So
yeah,
cool.
If you want to talk to me, see everything that's going on with Charty on a daily basis almost, just follow @Charty iOS and Twitter.
Nice.
It's where most of the communication for the app is going.
Adam is in the chat, by the way, saying, yes, let's do that. So that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It's a good, yeah.
Cool. Well, this was great. Thank you for coming on. And everybody go get Charty. Woo. All right.
Yay.
We'll see you all next time.
Yeah, see you.